you kill people?
Hey guys, what is up? This is MNP3000, and today I'm going to be talking about Crytek's shooter, their free-to-play first-person shooter for the Xbox 360 and PC, entitled Warface. And I'm just going to give my first impressions on the game. This is in no way, shape, or form a final review of the game. This is actually probably the second match I jumped into in Warface. So, like I said, very first impressions on just should you download the game and waste your time downloading it, or is it a game you should pick up? And it is free, so I mean, might as well pick it up. But I'm going to be getting into detail why or why not you should pick it up, and if it's a game that you would enjoy. So the very, very initial first impressions I had on the game, and that is, it asks you if you want to complete a tutorial. The tutorial is actually pretty good. I enjoyed the tutorial. I thought it was kind of helpful, but at the same time, I feel like maybe it should have showed you a little bit more. I mean, the game's not complex by any means, but maybe showed you into a couple game modes or something. Also, I only did play Team Deathmatch, which is what this is. I didn't get into any other game modes, but from what I had seen, they're not innovative really on, they're just basic game modes such as Capture the Flag and other game modes that you see in basically every game. Nothing special. But right now I want to talk about the overall gameplay and how the game felt. Now, I think the game feels really good for a free-to-play game. The guns do have a good kick to them. Basically, the explosions, the impact just feels, I guess, cinematic in a way. And it's actually better than I expected it to be. And like I said, it's pretty good for a free-to-play game. And also, this game runs on the Crytek engine, so I'm assuming that is a big piece of it, since the Crytek engine is fucking amazing. But yeah, not a whole lot of innovations when it comes to the gunplay. And what I mean by that is, there's nothing really special. You can slide like you can in Crysis, and you can customize your weapon on the go. So that's pretty cool. Something that they brought over from the Crysis series as well. And so there's a little bits and pieces that are kind of innovative, but other than that, there's nothing like huge amounts of players or, you know, vehicular combat or anything out of the ordinary that you don't see in an average first-person shooter. Now, I personally think that's kind of a bad thing. It's not really bad, it's just kind of a loss, because, of course, what's the point of playing this shooter when there's a lot of other shooters that may do it the same thing, but they may do it better. So that's something to keep in mind. The game isn't that innovative. And the next thing I want to talk about is the graphics, and of course you guys can see that it's right, the video is right in front of you. The graphics are pretty good. They're nothing special. Partially due, you can fucking run this game in your web browser on your PC. So I mean, that's awesome. I mean, you can't have mind-blowing graphics or anything on a free-to-play game like this, to the point where nobody's PC will be able to run the game. Excuse me. So the graphics can't be amazing, but they're pretty fucking good for a free-to-play game. Crysis did a very good job on the graphics, being that they're not fantastic, but they're definitely not bad at all. They're pretty good, and I give them props for being able to put these graphics into a free-to-play game like this. I think it's pretty awesome. I'm sure the game looks better on PC. Like I said, I'm running this on a fucking 360, which is some like 8-year-old hardware. So yes, it is free on the PC and 360, of course. If you have, this is something to bring up. If you have silver, the game is free for a week trial. You can play the game on Xbox Live, and of course, it's just free to play if you do have gold. Now that we have sort of a money thing out of the way, besides having gold to play this game, having to have gold, is this game a pay-to-win game? And what I mean by that is it's free to play, but is it pay-to-win? As in, if you have more money, more real money than someone else, can you get an advantage on other players? And I haven't dug I guess deep into the game yet, so I can't give a huge opinion on that. Like, all my opinions are subject to change in the final review. of course, once I get my hands on more of this game. Now, from what I've experienced from the game, it is kind of a pay to win, to the point where if you do pay money, you'll get some sort of advantage on players, I'm assuming, like any free-to-play game. But, like, I win in the game, I'm not going to pay money on this game. You know, I'm going to give it from just a regular person's perspective. I don't really want to pay money in this game, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to pay money in this game unless I feel like it's a very good game and it deserves my money. I guess that sounded pretty selfish. Either way, most likely not going to pay money on this game. I hate paying in-game money or microtransactions. I hate that so much. Anyways, is the game pay to win? Sort of, to an extent. Like I said, you will get an upper hand on other players, I'm assuming, with better weapons, better gear, stuff like that. But not a huge advantage, because everybody's gear, weapons, everything goes away in a time range. For example, I'm pretty sure I got the gun I'm using for completing the tutorial. I'm pretty sure you get this gun. And I have this gun for 2 days. It's not like I just have the gun for the rest of the game. I have to pay real or in-game money to get the gun again, if I do enjoy using this gun. And I've seen that with other free-to-play first-person shooters as well, so it's not just this game. I don't like that at all, but I mean, you know, what can you do? It's a free-to-play game. You can't really complain about it. So the game is definitely playable without having to pay a cent. So props to Crytek for being able to do that. I think that's pretty fantastic. And kind of the last thing I want to get into, and I'm just going to talk about some little things I noticed, is the cons of the game, what I did not like. Now, this is a pretty big thing for me, considering I try to sound tour when I'm on my 360 anyway, because I don't have adapters for my Xbox One for my Tritons yet. But once I get that, I'll be able to use the Tritons on the Xbox One. But for now, when I play on my 360, I use my Tritons, and you know, they do give me a huge advantage. Audio is a huge advantage. Probably gonna be making a video on that shortly, on how audio is a huge advantage in gaming. So subscribe and stay tuned if you do enjoy my content so far. But audio isn't something you can just take advantage of in this game, and that may be because they want you to pay money towards real weapons, or real money for weapons in the game, instead of just being able to get an advantage off of audio. But maybe it's just because they didn't really think about it a whole lot, or they didn't want people to get a huge advantage off audio. I know MW3, I think, did that, where you can't hear the other player's footsteps very well, and I've definitely noticed that in this game. I just went and played the original Call of Duty Black Ops, and I could hear everyone's footsteps. I got a huge advantage by using audio in that game, whereas I noticed in Warface that I couldn't get a huge advantage off it. So that's not a huge thing to complain about, but it is something I noticed. And other than that, the sound design is pretty decent. It doesn't sound very shitty. It's not amazing, but at the same time, it's definitely up to par with other games. The sound is good. The sound design is good. Now, the last gripe I have is basically the netcode in the game. The netcode isn't that great. You can't really expect an amazing netcode for a game like this, but I did feel like it can be tuned a lot more. It's not as bad as Battlefield 4, but it's still something, I guess, to maybe gripe about if you want to get into a game that has a great netcode. If you don't know what a netcode is, it's basically a code of some sort that keeps track of all the players on the map at a certain time and where the positions are. For example, Battlefield 4 has a shitty netcode, so if you're at another player's sights and they kill you, and on their screen they were able to see you, but in your screen you were behind the wall. So it's kind of just like the players are off, and it allows for a lot of cheap deaths. I did not feel like I was getting a lot of cheap deaths in this game though, but it just could be fixed a little bit, like lag and shit like that. But other than that, I do feel like this is definitely a good game. and it is something worth picking up, especially for being free. I mean, you can just delete the game afterwards. So I think it's like a 3 something gigabyte download, so it's not like a huge file. And yeah, there's a lot of updates at the end, but I mean, you'll get over it. So last but not least, there's a couple features that have been in the Crytek series. Sorry, Crysis, I keep fucking up on my Crysis, Crytek, CryEngine. In the Crysis series, sliding, like I said, customizing your weapons on the go. And now you can vault people over a building, which you did hopefully see in the video. If you're not, just look back. You can help people up higher buildings and basically throw them up there, or if they're on the building, they can grab a whole view and pull you up on the building. So I thought that was really cool, and that is something I enjoyed a lot. So like I said, final review will be coming out fairly soon, and I thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like the video and subscribe. And this song was a rap beat I made, or a hip-hop beat, and it will be down in the description for free download. So be sure to check that out, and you guys have a great day. Peace, guys.